Hello everyone, this is Dr. Young. I am broadcasting to you on Monday, June 11th, 2018, and I am here in the city of Recife, Brazil. You can find Recife if you look on Google Maps, and basically it's over where the hump in the upper right-hand corner of South America is. It's a big city of about 5 million people, and I have an ongoing research project here. Any of you who have been my students in a classroom have heard lots about this project because I talk about it a lot. In any case, I'm here. I just moved here a couple of weeks ago, and I will be here for the next 6 months, and I'm excited to be back. It's winter time, but you wouldn't know it from the temperature because it's nice and warm. It's about 85 degrees. And the only difference between the summer and the winter here is that in the summertime, which is January, February, it rains quite a bit more, but the temperature is about the same because we're pretty close to the equator. Anyway, I'm in a park close to where I'm living. It's a park called Jaqueira Park. Jaqueira is the name of a tree, and it's the tree that makes the jackfruit, if any of you are familiar with the jackfruit. So I'm just going to walk around a little bit, and I thought it would be nice, since we're doing this virtual class together, to introduce myself. I've gotten to know you all a bit individually through email, back and forth, and also through your posts on Blackboard. But you don't know much about me unless you've taken a class from me. So, a little bit about me as we walk around. It is nice to be in the shade. Actually, I'm looking up, and this is a mango tree, but the mango are not ripe because it is not the right season for that. Okay, so my story goes as follows. I'm from California originally, Los Angeles, and but most recently, let's see, I've been in New York for about 10 years. Before that, I was in graduate school at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia, where I did graduate school in anthropology. I'm a cultural anthropologist by training. And when I was a graduate student, I lived for 2 years in a different city here in Brazil, a city called Porto Alegre, which is way down at the southernmost part of Brazil. Very different world. It's about as far away as, say, Boston from San Diego. It's a big country, so. Before that, though, I had a different career, which is that I used to work in the field of public health. So for many years, I lived in the city of Baltimore and did public health research, mostly around HIV/AIDS among injection drug users. That is, which is to say, how can we prevent HIV infection among people who sometimes share needles? So that experience, several years of doing research in that area, got me interested in anthropology. I was not an anthropology major in college. I was actually an East Asian studies major. I was really fascinated with all things Japanese. But then I switched to public health, and then I switched to anthropology. And I think this anthropology thing is going to stick. I don't intend to switch careers again. And what else can I tell you? I've been teaching this class for a few years. It's an odd experience, I think, for all of us, because it's virtual and we're never interacting with each other live. So I hope it's going okay for you, and a lot of you have been emailing me with questions just to make sure you're understanding how the system works and so forth, so on. And I encourage you to do that. If you get stuck, or if you get confused, or if you're going to miss a deadline and you want an extension, just shoot me an email and I promise to respond quickly for you. As I'm walking around this amazing park, I'm enjoying these crazy palm trees. There are a real wealth of different kinds of palm trees here. Most big Brazilian cities have parks like this, parks that are shared by people from different class backgrounds. This is in a more affluent neighborhood, but there are plenty of people, working class people here, using the public space. as in any big Brazilian city, I think. So this week we are diving into Bolivia, our next country. And if you haven't started the reading yet, which probably most of you have not, you'll be learning a lot about a very complicated, inspiring, and troubling fellow named Evo Morales, who is still the president of Bolivia, and he's a fascinating guy. He really represents, in some ways, he's one of the few presidents who was elected during what is sometimes called the pink tide, this period associated with the first 10 years of this century, during which presidents all over Latin America were being elected who were of the left, were hard left-wing presidents. This was one of the themes that you talked about during your the first week of Blackboard postings. And many of those presidents are gone. The fellow who was here in Brazil, he's gone. He's actually in prison, and you've already encountered him. That's Lula. Earlier this year, he began a 12-year prison sentence for corruption. And things like that have been happening for a lot of former left-wing presidents. But Evo Morales is still in power. He's still very important, and I think we can learn a lot from his experience. Okay, everyone, I'm going to stop talking. And again, I encourage you to shoot me an email if you have any questions. And otherwise, I will see you on Blackboard. Ciao.